Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, it's Friday. Not a lot of news overnight, but what is out could be important to prices. First of all, in the financial markets, everybody's watching the debate on U.S. debt ceiling and also the debate on whether the government's going to shut down October 1st or not. That's got the dollar lower, it's got U.S. stocks a little lower, it's got crude a little bit lower, and the metals a little bit higher. So we'll see if everybody in Washington can agree on all those issues and move forward. In the grains, I think the market's still starving for reports on yields. We've got a report on Monday, and so overnight prices were about unchanged in the corn and wheat and just a little bit higher in the beans. I think it's tough to put a new position on going over the weekend and waiting for harvest results. We are getting more and more yield data in, although only 7% of the corn is harvested and 3% of the bean harvest. We should have had a good week of harvest this week. Farmers are waiting for the corn to dry down a little bit, but whether it's Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, or Nebraska, yields are coming in for corn where they expected or higher. So right now the data would suggest the USDA might raise the corn yield on their October 11th report. In the beans, you have a much mixed bag. The southern beans are still better than expected, but especially looking in Iowa, you're getting yields pretty much all over the map, but they feel like they're a little bit lower than what farmers were expecting. Not a lot of data. In Illinois, there's a wide variance of yield from a little bit lower than expected to higher than expected. So still waiting on soybean yield data. From a weather standpoint, rains this weekend across the Midwest. Next week should be mostly dry. The next rain event is late next week, and we've got some showers forecasted for Argentina this week and Brazil next week, and maybe a little bit better rain event for both countries late next week. So in general, we're kind of on hold, sitting at the lower end of what's been the August trading range in beans, trying to decide whether we need to go lower because the crop may be unchanged and the carryout may be okay for next year, or go higher if the yield drops below 40. Corn down near the contract lows and trying to decide whether we should take that out or move higher because the farmer may not be a big seller. In the wheat, we bounced pretty good on concerns about Russian quality, concerns about Argentina supply, concern about Brazil and China buying wheat, but we're up against major resistance and could find some resistance based on the big European and Canada crops. So in general, quiet trade, a lot of big news to digest, and we'll see what the government says on September 1 U.S. grain stocks on Monday. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.